What's going on, guys? It's Daniel from CoinSpots here, and today we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin again, a quick look at Bitcoin. We're going to be discussing where I think it's going to be going from here. Nothing too much has changed since Wednesday's video, but there are a few things more that I can bring up. Then we're going to get into some of the big news pieces that have come out over the past 2 days, specifically the Robinhood trading app offering crypto trading services, the World Economic Forum in Davos, Switzerland, and what they're talking about Bitcoin and blockchain, kind of what the sentiment is over there. A Japanese exchange known as Coincheck has frozen deposits and withdrawals from their exchange. So we're gonna kind of talk about that. What what the implications are of leaving your money on an exchange, and then we're gonna get into the concept of stable coins and how this new company Trust Token, I believe it's Trust Token or Trust Coin, is coming out with a new currency known as TrueUSD, and yeah, we're going to get into the whole stablecoin idea, why we need it, and why it's such a problem in the crypto space right now. So, Bitcoin on the hourly chart, as usual. Um, Looks like we've had a double top here on the 1 hour, and that's why we broke to the downside here. But we're coming up again, coming up and testing this down or descending trend line, I should say. If we zoom out to the 4 hour, we can see it a bit clearer. The same resistance levels are in play, the 13,000 and the 11,000 levels corresponding with these fibs. So really, it's just a matter of volume. When is the volume going to come back in to the crypto market? Um, and that's what's really keeping these prices low. You can't sustain a market without new volume coming in, especially, or old volume coming back in. I talked on Wednesday's video about how I think a lot of the investors, retail investors especially, that were coming in November and December during that huge altcoin rally, are kind of sitting on the sidelines now because they're a little skeptical about what's going on with Bitcoin. I'm not seeing Bitcoin going up like 20x, or not 20x, but or altcoins. I'm not seeing altcoins going up 20x in a day, and I'm not seeing Bitcoin going up 15% a day, something like that. So I guess people are a little bit more wary of crypto, and they're seeing that it's not always going to be going through the roof. So going to be watching this trend line to see if we break the trend line, but still, for me, I'm looking at that $15,000 level. If we're able to break and hold that $15,000 level, I think it's going to be good, and I'm going to change my sentiment to bullish on Bitcoin. Now, one of the things, as I said, you have to consider is volume. I always talk about volume. Volume is very, very important. And as you can see, during the sell-off, we had these two huge bars of two red bars, obviously indicating sell volume, and nothing to back that up on the upside. That's why, as you can see right here, almost no volume. That's why we're just hanging around at these price levels, right? In order to sustain the price and have coins move up, you're going to need some kind of volume to come into the market. Now, retail investors, that's if if their market sentiment, if the sentiment of retail investors is bullish, and if they see stuff going up, they're going to come into the market. For institutional investors, that's going to be a little bit different, right? With institutional investors, we're always talking about how we need that big money to come in and drive the prices up. But what you have to consider is what incentives are going to be driving that big money to come into the cryptocurrency market, right? Institutional investors, for the most part, aren't looking at cryptocurrency and blockchain in a way that's going to be revolutionizing the world, kind of like how we retail investors are looking at it. We're seeing a huge financial opportunity, huge financial revolution that could potentially change the world. Big money, they're just looking at something that's going to be stable to keep the money that they have, right, and also grow over time. So um, their big money is not chasing the pumps of coins like a lot of retail investors are. And because of that, some kind of macro force needs to incentivize big money to switch and move their money into the crypto market, right? Now, those macro forces can be a wide variety of things, but I'm not going to be discussing those in this video. However, you just have to remember the large cap coins are the ones that are going to be the long-term holds, right? Your Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, Neo, any of the top 15 to 20 cryptocurrencies, they're the ones that are going to have the network and the liquidity to, support hundreds of millions of dollars being dumped into those coins. They might not look really attractive now, but in the future, for those long-term holds, 5 years, 10 years, those are going to be the ones that are going to make it in the long run. So macro forces to incentivize big money to come in. That's what we got to be looking for if we want to see this volume here pick up. Now, as I've said, stuff like the Lightning Network and Bitcoin ETFs could be something that's going to make retail investors look back at into investing in Bitcoin again. But institutional investors, a little bit different. So yeah, that's my 2 cents here on Bitcoin and what I think, or where I think the market's going to be going, and kind of what we need in the market. So moving on to the news of the day, the Robinhood app. If you don't know what that is, that's basically a app you can get on the App Store, and it allows for free trading of stocks. Basically, it's geared toward millennials, who don't have too much money, and basically incentivizing them to invest their money somehow. And they have announced, Robinhood has announced that they're going to be offering a crypto trading platform. So I think it was they're going to be starting off with just Bitcoin and Ethereum. Yeah, Bitcoin and Ethereum in 5 states. So this is only going to be available in the United States for now in February. But eventually, it's going to go to all 50 states, and they're going to support some of the biggest altcoins out there. So, Neo, Stellar, stuff like that, with 0 exchange fees. And that's interesting because if you guys have heard of Robinhood, that's with a C, is pretty much a cryptocurrency exchange that had an ICO last year. And they, I believe, started up their exchange in November or December of last year. It still doesn't have that much liquidity, but their entire premise was doing a 0 fee cryptocurrency exchange. Obviously, the name Robinhood being based on Robinhood, the stock app, but Now Robinhood is getting into crypto, so it's going to be interesting to see, Robinhood and Cobinhood competing with that zero exchange fee. But I think this is a really good bullish sign, especially that if you go over to their website, crypto.robinhood.com, you see almost 500,000 people are signed up for early access, and this number is just ticking up, ticking up. And I think that this is very, very bullish because it's going to make trading crypto really easy. Obviously, after or they have to implement this into more states. This, when they start in February, it's just going to be kind of a test. That's why they're starting with only 2 coins and in 5 states. But if this thing works out, I think it's going to be really, really easy because I've used the Robinhood app before to buy stocks, and it's super, super quick. Very easy. Your money gets into your account extremely quickly, and the interface is super simple, and you can buy it just in a snap of your fingers, pretty much. So something like this is going to allow more people, especially millennials, to start, or not even millennials, just retail investors, to start getting into crypto. Because all they have to do is download an app on their phone and link up a payment method, and they're good to go. Whereas Coinbase, even though Coinbase is relatively, beginner friendly, you do have very high fees for credit/debit card payment methods, and ACH transfers take about 10 days to confirm. So I think just the fact that you're going to be able to do this on your phone, and additionally, the Robinhood app has, I don't know how many millions of people already using it. So this is just going to expose the people already using the app to have the option to buy crypto, right? So it's not like people are going out of their way to make a Coinbase account. If you already have a Robinhood account, and once they get all of this crypto exchange sorted out, that's going to be exposed to all of Robinhood's current users. So Robinhood's current users are not going to need to go over to a Coinbase or a Bittrex to start buying crypto. They can do it right from the app that they've been used to using for whatever amount of time. So I think that's really, really good. I'm super excited about this, especially with the zero exchange fees, because, man, Bittrex and Binance they get you with the exchange fees, man. It's a profitable business. I've said that many times before. They're making a couple $100,000 a day. Coinbase, as I said, made $1 billion last year, which is insane. So good business, but nobody wants to pay fees. So moving on to the World Economic Forum, and basically blockchain and Bitcoin has, undoubtedly come up as a topic there. And what I find pretty interesting is that most of the speakers regarding cryptocurrency, or not speakers, they're not cryptocurrency specific speakers. It's, hedge fund managers and oh man, I'm blanking out. Presidents, yes, presidents of countries. French president, UK prime minister. There we go. Most of them have I wouldn't say negative view of crypto. It's just that whenever crypto comes up in terms of a government standpoint, they always look at it through the lens of security, meaning that they're seeing it as a means of money laundering and terrorism funding. And I understand why they look at it that way. I don't per se think that like every government official thinks stuff like Bitcoin and Litecoin is solely used for um, illegal or illicit purposes. But as a government, they know that crypto gives criminals the ability to move money like that anonymously, relatively anonymously. And that's why crypto has always come up, especially in the United States, under discussion from like the Homeland Security Administration, right? Because I remember a couple weeks ago when Sarah Huckabee, the Secretary of the Press um, for the White House, was asked about crypto. She was saying how it was being brought up under the Homeland Security Administration, not the IRS or the SEC. Which just shows that government is viewing crypto as a means for illicit purposes, right? However, they do look at blockchain in a positive view, which is at least a good thing. So governments know that the blockchain technology is something that's going to be used in the future. So maybe things like Neo, Ethereum, those protocol-based tokens. I just think that this is interesting to point out because, as I said, anytime government looks at crypto, it's often in the negative view, with illicit or nefarious purposes behind it. And it's not specific to any one country. The French president, the UK prime minister, even the United States. Not the president of the United States, but a couple, members in his administration, are looking at crypto, with illicit use purposes. So it's interesting to see this. Don't know what this is going to mean for regulation. Whoops, sorry about that. But we'll see what comes out of this. So yeah, moving on to Japan. Coincheck exchange freezes withdrawals up to $723 million. This is pretty crazy. So basically, nobody can get their money out of this Coincheck exchange in Japan because basically the exchange detected a huge transfer worth of NEM and then a huge transfer worth of Ripple, and they basically shut down those wallets and then ended up shutting down deposits and withdrawals for any kind of wallet in the exchange. So obviously we're going to have to see how this plays out, but this is just another reason why you should take the majority of your crypto off of your exchanges, because you never know when something like this is going to happen. It's just going to come up behind you, sneak up behind you, and then you're going to be stuck with your crypto on the exchange. You're not holding your private keys, and you're pretty much at the mercy of the exchange. So when something like this comes out, it should really give everyone the incentive to just buy a hardware wallet, or at least get a software wallet like Exodus, and take the majority of your money off of the exchange. Obviously you can, still leave some up like I do, in terms of for trading purposes and stuff like that, but the majority of your holdings should be in your control. So yeah, quick update on that, or announcement on that, I should say. This has been, circulating through Twitter and a couple of the Telegram chat rooms and such. So definitely keep your eye on this and see what happens from it. So yeah, moving on to the last bit of news. Basically, a new stablecoin is going to be coming out called TrueUSD. And this was by the company TrueCoin. That's what it was. I think I was saying True Token before, but no, TrueCoin. So basically, the whole stablecoin problem in the crypto market as a whole is pretty big, because Tether right now is the biggest stable coin, but the validity of Tether is kind of up in the air, right? So if you don't know, Tether is basically a company that prints, or seemingly prints money, right? They claim that each Tether is backed by $1. However, there's been no audits to the company to actually confirm that. So just the other day, Tether, dumped like $100 million of Tether worth, or $100 million worth of Tether into the market. And they've been doing, these large Tether dumps into the market for quite some time, which obviously makes people skeptical if Tether is just not printing money out of the blue, right? Kind of like the US government, trying to stimulate an economy by printing money. Is Tether just trying to stimulate the crypto ecosystem by, injecting more Tether into the crypto markets? And because of um, these actions, and the lack of audits for Tether, and also the fact that there is no legal guarantee that Tethers can be redeemed for traditional currency. This is a very, very important point. Really brings into question the validity of the company, which is why a lot of people do not trust Tether. Even though there are $1 billion+ worth of Tether in circulation, a lot of people are becoming more and more skeptical, right? Because even though there's evidence, on both sides that, Tether does have the money that they claim they do, or the US dollar amount that they claim they do backing each Tether, there's more evidence on the scamish side of Tether than there is on the legitimate side of Tether. And basically, why is this important? Why is the need for a stable coin important? Well, because crypto needs something to be pegged to in order to reduce its volatility, right? Because if it's pegged to Bitcoin, like currently all of the altcoins are, Bitcoin itself is fluctuating a lot, which causes the price of altcoins to increase or decrease more than they should, right? So for example, Litecoin Bitcoin chart is going to be more volatile than the Litecoin US dollar chart, because the US dollar is obviously a stable currency. So we need some sort of stable coin in order to, see widespread adoption of cryptocurrency. Because if people want to use crypto, they are not going to want to use something that is just flying all over the place in terms of value. That's why a stable coin, a true stable coin, is needed in the market. And that's basically what TrueUSD is trying to fulfill. And basically what makes TrueUSD different is that they themselves are not going to be holding the funds. They have actually no access to the funds. So they're using trust companies and banks to secure those true US dollar tokens. And in addition to that, each true US dollar token can be redeemed for $1. And I think both of those factors are very, very important when it comes to a transparency side of a stablecoin. And also, apart from that, this stablecoin, True US Dollar or USD, is going to allow more people to get into the cryptocurrency space without actually having to purchase stuff like Bitcoin or Ethereum or Litecoin, because TrueUSD is itself going to be a cryptocurrency. It's going to be backed by the dollar, but you can still use TrueUSD for transactions and whatnot, which are going to be faster than things like bank wires or ACH transfers, right? This isn't just limited to cryptocurrency itself, right? while we do need a stablecoin in the cryptocurrency market, and that is what True US Dollar is trying to tackle, probably its main focus of the company, but it can also broaden its scope of the use of True US Dollar to just regular everyday use. So people can get into crypto, get into a stable coin, and start using and transacting that stable coin before they start using stuff like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin. So I think this is a really big project to look at for 2018, especially on the transparency side, which is probably the biggest issue when it comes to stablecoin, because as I said, Tether owns, or Tether basically prints and manages every single Tether that comes out, right? Where TrueUSD is, or oh man, I keep forgetting the name. TrueCoin, yes. TrueCoin is leaving the money management into banks and trust companies. So they don't touch the funds at all. Where Tether has complete control of all of the funds that they print, basically. So this is really interesting because it's a project that is very much needed in the cryptocurrency space, and I'm actually pretty excited about it. Ari Paul tweeted this out, which is basically how I found it. I believe he's an advisor to the project. Ari Paul, if you don't know, huge guy in the cryptocurrency space. Really do enjoy reading his tweets. They always have a ton of value to them. And basically, he tweeted out about TrueCoin and how he was an advisor to the project. And I took a look at this, and really good stuff. So definitely keep your eye on the whole stablecoin thing. Specifically TrueCoin. I know there's a couple other ones out there like MakerDAO and a few other stablecoins, but I think TrueCoin definitely is going to be fulfilling the void, for a stablecoin, especially in the United States. And apart from that, they have said that the TrueCoin team has said that they can scale this outside of US dollar, right? They can go over to euro and yen. So that's definitely an important factor to look at in terms of the longevity of this company. So really stoked about this project. I'd really say to give this article a read. I'm going to link it down below, as I usually do with all the news pieces that I review on the podcast. So yeah. Apart from that, per usual, I'm just going to be watching Bitcoin, seeing what it does. Not really going to be doing anything in terms of buying or selling, simply because of the uncertainty right now in the market. But yeah, stay safe, as always, in the crypto space. Don't chase pumps. Don't chase FOMO. Do the right thing. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you on Monday.